love stories. Hey, welcome back to Love Stories. I'm your host, Cheri Smith, Blue Heart Music, and this is a place where you just might learn a little bit about love while being entertained. All right, so today's topic is 5 types of people to avoid dating. All right, so let's dive into the 5 types of people you do not want to have a relationship with. Avoid these people at all costs. Number 1 is the person who is always busy. So sure, they might squeeze you in once in a while, but if you saw my previous video, basically if you have somebody who is telling you they're busy a lot, well, the truth is they probably are seeing somebody else as well. So you may not be their first priority. So if that's the case, you might want to just steer clear of them because you're going to be wasting your time. They're not ready to settle down. They're not looking for just one person. They're seeing multiple people and they're not telling you that that's what's going on. So if you want to be towed along for a long time, strung along, well, then great. Maybe you don't care. But for me, that happened a couple times where I was seeing somebody who was busy a lot. And then I found out later they had also been seeing somebody else. And that's why they were so busy. So take it from me, if you want to be in a serious relationship or just a relationship with one person, just dump that person. Don't waste your time. Okay, number 2 type of person to avoid dating is the liar. So if you've ever dated a liar, maybe you had a similar experience. I dated somebody who I noticed he would lie about a lot of small things, like all the time, just unnecessarily to people. And he lied to me about his middle name. And, just like things for no reason. He would just tell lies. And then later on, I found out that he told some really big lies. For example, at work, where I worked with him at the time, he had lied about his work title. Not to me, because I knew his work title, but he had covered up part of his name tag, making it appear to others that he had a higher title than he actually did. So people that are liars, if you notice they're lying a lot about just things that are unimportant, well, they may be telling a lot of small lies, but also they're probably telling a lot of big lies too. So that's just somebody you don't want to get caught up with. They're just kind of a slimy, dishonest person. So don't waste your time with the liars. There's actually a lot more stories behind that one, but I'll tell you about those another time. All right, so the number 3 type of person you want to avoid dating, the type of person you want to avoid having a relationship with is if they are unreliable. So if they are just not showing up when they said they would, or they were going to help you with something, they flake out, or just whatever with small things. Like if they're not showing up and they're not helping and they're not around when they say they will be, well, that's a pretty bad sign. That means they are likely not going to be there when you actually do need some real help. If you get in a jam, you can't count on that person. So I would say avoid people who are not reliable because you want to have somebody you can count on. All right, we're down to number 4. The number 4 type of person that you should avoid dating is somebody who is a narcissist. Someone who makes you look bad and makes you feel bad about yourself. Like they say things about you that aren't true. It's very demoralizing. Like they exaggerate things and make themselves look really good, but make you look like a weirdo or whatever. And if you watched one of my previous episodes, I talked about dating a narcissist in a little more detail and told you a few stories. So you can go check out that video. I'll post the links for the videos that I did previously that are kind of matching up with a few of these topics. But anyway, don't date a narcissist. They are pretty awful. Okay, we are on number 5. So the number 5 type of person you want to avoid dating, and this one is probably the worst of them all, if they are violent or controlling. So if anybody ever lays a hand on you in an abusive way or a way that is upsetting to you, well, I would just get out of that as fast as you can, because it's not going to get better. You hear stories about, somebody saying, oh, I promise I'll never do that again, but then they do, and you can't trust that they won't do that again. That's what the abusers do. They promise, oh, I'll never do it again. I'm working on my temper or whatever, but you cannot trust that. And you hear a lot of bad stories about that. So if they're very violent or controlling, maybe they're controlling about money, or who you can see, being really restrictive about letting you see people outside of your relationship, that can be some scary stuff, and it's not going to get better. So fortunately, I've never really been in that situation where I haven't dated anyone who is violent or controlling with me. Fortunately, I have avoided that through my life. I would say that those can be like really dangerous. So if there are signs early on of somebody being violent or abusive, well, I would just get out of that as fast as you can. Okay? You deserve to be with somebody who will treat you well. So, and they do have hotlines for people who are in those kind of situations. So, I would look up those hotlines if you need help with something like that. Yeah, definitely avoid that. Get out as fast as you can. Anybody who is violent or controlling, because it won't get better. All right, hopefully you have learned the 5 types of people to avoid dating. So just a quick recap. Number 1, if they're busy, that means they're playing you. If they're busy all the time or frequently. Number 2, if they're a liar. If they lie about small stuff, they're probably lying about big stuff too. Number 3, if they're unreliable, if they are constantly late for no reason or canceling and just flaking out in general. Well, if they're doing that on small things, they're not going to be there for you when it matters. So avoid the unreliable people. All right, number 4, the narcissist. Narcissists like to make you feel terrible about yourself and then feel great about themselves. So they might make you feel good in the moment, but then they will make you look bad to other people. So don't date a narcissist. All right, number 5, if they're violent or controlling. So don't date an abusive person. That's just gonna be terrible. All right, it's just, there's no good future there. So if you notice those signs, get out. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed learning about the 5 types of people to avoid dating. Hopefully that helped you learn a little bit too. So if you are interested in more stories like this, or if this helped you out, please consider subscribing. Or if you just like my stories, hook it up, hit that subscribe button. All right, and now your favorite visual aids. So if you like this episode, then you can catch new episodes 4 p.m. Pacific time almost every Thursday. And don't forget to like and subscribe, share with your friends, and most importantly, I want you to know you are loved. All right, you've been watching Love Stories. I'm Cheri Smith, Blue Heart Music, and I will catch you next time.